Good afternoon, YouTubers. Well, what's happened now? I'm waiting at the border for my wife. We were coming home. I said to my wife, fancy some Irish stew tonight. So she stopped off at the supermarket on the way home and bought some meat and some carrots and some stuff for the stew. And of course, stupidly, we forgot. Gets to the border. Oh no, customs, police, you're not allowed to import meat into the EU. And we thought, just unlucky really, because sometimes they don't care, you know, they're not really bothered. Other times they're dead switched on and like, we won't allow anything that's on the list. Dairy products, you know. And the irony of it is there are no farms in Gibraltar, so the meat's probably been imported from Spain. And then put, you can't take it back, so you can't prove where it came from or something like that. So yeah, thanks Brexit, thanks very much for that. It's my dinner gone down the pan. She's had to go back to the supermarket to get a refund. Okay, we're back home. She got her money back. I had to go to the supermarket and get all the stuff, so I've made me stew. It's Pan of Scouse. It's got to like simmer for ages. Okay, well hopefully we'll have that later on and hopefully it'll taste nice. Okay, here we go, 3 hours later, and it's I think it's ready. My daughter's already had a few ladles full in a bowl and she's took it upstairs, and I'm going to be doing some Scouse recipes. I remember this guy called the Galloping Gourmet, Graham Kerr I think he was called, or something like that. He was always running around and drinking wine and cooking food, and everyone was pretty amused because he was always pissed when he was doing it. And he come up with some good stuff. Anyway, I'm going to do some Scouse dishes, okay? I'm going to do Scouse tonight, Pan of Scouse. I mean, I'm not the best person at making Scouse, okay? It's like an Irish stew. But because people from Liverpool are a mixed bag, originally we were all from Lancashire, and then we got joined by Scottish people from Scotland, obviously when they got thrown out of Scotland, because some toffs decided it was more profitable to get rid of all the people and breed sheep. So they had all these clearances in Victorian days, mid-Victorian days. Loads of Scottish people came to Liverpool. Loads of Irish people came to Liverpool during the potato famine as well. And Welsh people, of course, we're on the border with Wales pretty much in Liverpool. So lots of Welsh people lived there too. And we had black people as well. I think Liverpool was one of the first places to have black people. And no, they weren't slaves. Well, some of them might have been, I don't know. But we'll cover that later, because I'm going to talk about that in another video. At the moment, I'm going to do Scouse. I'm going to introduce my wife and my children. Well, one of the children. The others have all done one on the motorbike and driven away. I don't think they were hungry. Well, that was their excuse anyway. So let's get on. Let's find out if they like Scouse. So here it is, the moment of truth. I've served this in bowls because it's a bit more watery than I remember. Maybe I need a bit of practice.
What did you use for sauce?
I'm not telling you, it's secret.
Okay.
Secret ingredient anyway, darling. Yes, it's based
It
on
never
Irish.
happens, you never cook dinner.
I cooked it tonight.
It tastes like chicken, it's beef, isn't it? You've put soup in this.
I have not.
Yes, you have.
I have not. It's basically
oh, it's beef. I know what it is. It's where the potatoes have broken down.
Beef.
It's like a potato soup.
Potatoes, carrots, onions. That's the basic.
I'm quite impressed, Graham, actually. It tastes all right. The cat's running away. How's the beef? Is it chewy?
No.
You've cooked it for quite a while then. You took my advice. I got arrested at the border today for smuggling beef. Bastards, aren't they? Bastards.
No, you didn't get arrested, you got turned back. You were denied entry to the EU because you were in possession of illegal Spanish beef.
Hot, but hot. Yeah.
Yes, it is hot.
Yes.
And you had to go and get your money back. And what happened at the shop? You didn't have your receipt, did you?
It was quite a scene, actually. I was livid. I mean, technically, you're not allowed to even take a shepherd's pie from Gibraltar into the EU since Brexit. There was one poor lady, that was her dinner, 99p, that's all she had, and she bought a shepherd's pie. Then they took the dinner off her and put it in the bin. A Guardia Civil, a douane, they earn from €40,000 a year up to, I don't know, €70,000 a year. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a multi-millionaire, because I'm only on about £6 grand a year. That poor lady was one of these sort of destitute types. And they're armed, they carry guns, and they have tremendous power. And they took her dinner off her. And I admit I have smuggled the odd block of butter out of Gibraltar or packet of bacon in my handbag. I mean, I was a Ramona, you were a Ramona, but I've got to say, I'm beginning to hate the EU political project. Because at what point is it right for politicians
to take your dinner off you?
If I had a truck full of steak, yes, I can take their point because it might be infected, there may be invasive species, I understand that. But I said to him, "Es mi cenar," which means it's my dinner. And even the lady behind the computer, because he said, "You've got to go computer, check your passport." Even she looked, and I said to her, "They're productos de España," which they are. They originate from Spain and the EU. Eroski buy them, they get shipped to Gibraltar. I've bought it, it's an EU product, it's clearly been issued from the EU, but no, and not only that, my carrots were offensive. He said, "No, you can't take the carrots." And God, the Bisto gravy. He and I, reading the ingredients of this Bisto gravy, and I said, this is like a vegetarian one, there's no meat in it. No, you can't have vegetales, no. And the lady behind the computer, she even came out from her office, she said, "No, wait a moment." And she said to him in Spanish, "Can't you let the lady have her dinner?" And he said, "No, la ley es la ley." And so I had to be marched back through the crowds like a naughty child with my packet of cubed cheap stewing steak and my packet of carrots and right past the traffic, and I had to go back to Eroski, but I hadn't asked for a receipt because I didn't think it was a big deal. It was just a bit of stewing steak, for God's sake.
For dinner.
Anyway, they couldn't do the refund at Eroski because they need the receipt to put the numbers in. So I remembered the checkout, it was only 30 minutes before. I went back, lovely young Spanish guys, both of them, and I said, "I don't have the receipt, can't you print it out from the till?" And he said, "No, only the one just before." And I started to cry. And I said, "Then give the food, I want to give the food to someone who has no money, someone in Gibraltar. Can you please give it to somebody?" And they said, "No, we can't do that, it has to go in the bin." And to me, that is a crime. It cost, for the 2 packets of stewing steak, the carrots, the gravy, and all right, I got a 99p face pack, came to £15.25, and I just thought that is a waste. Food going in the bin because of the European Union and the Brexit, because of politicians, because of armed guards. When there were people out there struggling and starving, and I started to cry because it was the thought that I was being told I had to put it in the bin and I wasn't even allowed to give it to somebody. And because I started to cry, the checkout guy went through his waste paper bin to find his copy of my receipt, and he knew it was $15.25, con 25, and he found it, and they gave me a refund, and they were absolutely lovely, but I was livid. And when I got back to the Guardia Civil, the douane, they didn't even remember me. They were busy frisking and searching some old age pensioners. I mean, I didn't want Britain to leave the European Union, but now we've left and I see this type of conduct, it turns my stomach, and I'm turning very much against the project. I'm sorry, no. So you and I probably end up disagreeing about things on that. I'm livid.
It's okay to disagree.
They're armed, Graham. How many guns do they carry? They have 2 guns each.
My mother always said to me, never argue with people who have guns.
Yeah.
It won't end well. So, anyway, what do we think of the Scouse?
It's lovely, Graham, actually. I'm really bloody impressed. You should cook all the time. I'm really impressed.
Maybe I will.
I mean, the kids, they're always horrified because Graham's cooking experiments don't always come out well. They're quite horrified about your haggis.
I'm doing haggis kebabs. I want to buy a kilt.
No, it's a waste of money because you'll only wear it the once.
You've got to get into the spirit after a bottle of whiskey.
You'll only wear it once, and if you're going to buy a kilt, you should get a proper kilt, and you're looking at thousands for that.
I'm not getting a proper one. I mean, I'm only going to buy a normal one.
No.
You know, just €16. Bottle of whiskey is going to cost me 12. You have to mix whiskey in with the haggis kebab, otherwise it won't be Scottish.
Scott, yeah, that's one good thing. Oh yeah, but you can't. You'll have to go computer check your bottle of whiskey. Then you can't bring another bottle of whiskey for a month.
I'll buy whiskey in Spain.
No, it's better to get it in Jib. You can get all the name brands dirt cheap in Jib. But you have to go check.
I can bring out a bottle every month. 1 bottle a month.
Goodness gracious me!
I probably only brought 1 bottle out this year.
I tell you what, things are either going to get a lot worse at that border by Christmas, or it's going to disappear.
Let's pray for the Schengen. That may be the best thing that happens.
Please God, get rid of the Guardia Civil and the Douane and the Policia Nacional immigration. Please God, get rid of that border.
There's too many cops in Spain. I mean, cops at the best of times are there for good reasons, but
the police are actually really polite. Well, the Guardi was polite. He was digging his heels in. He was not going to let me have my carrots. He was not going to let me have my carrots.
I'm going back for seconds.